Hey beautiful people, welcome back to the channel. I'm Josie with Awakened Soul for those of you who are new. I hope you're having an amazing day or night whenever you're here for this reading today. Today's reading is going to be a perception reading. So we are going to be talking all about your specific person's current perception of you and of the connection. I've gone ahead and gotten us started by getting a few oracle cards out on the board. And then after that, we're going to dive even deeper using the tarot. So I'm going to begin by introducing you to all of the cards here, then we will hop into the tarot, after which we will then pull a few channeled message cards to see what your person would like to say to you right now if they felt like they could be completely open and honest at this time, followed by some tiles and charms for bonus insight and information as well as confirmation. And then as always, I will seal our reading off today with a message just for you from universe. That way you can remember to sort of do a good reset, recenter, and bring the focus, energy, and attention back inwards towards yourself. So I do highly encourage you to stick around till the end to do that reset. For those of you who are regular viewers on the channel, you know that I've been on a bit of a hiatus the last couple of days here, as I do believe I had laryngitis and I truly could not talk at all. So thank you so much for your patience and understanding during that time. You guys are so great. You're always very supportive, and I am super excited to be back here today. One last bit of info I'll give you is that I do still on occasion have like a little bit of coughs if my throat gets too dry, so I may have to do a couple of cuts in today's reading to go take a sip of water, but knock on wood, everything seems fine so far, and I will give you a bit of a heads up if I have to do that. But I'm excited to be back. Let's get straight into the reading. So I'm going to start by introducing the cards. Like I mentioned, I did ask specifically for light attributes for both of these two archetypes, so I'm going to start by reading those to you. The first light attribute archetype we have out from your person's perspective of you at this time is the Liberator. We have freeing yourself and others from outmoded beliefs, releasing negative thought patterns. And then we also have the Warrior. And the light attributes for that archetype are strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will, heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrifice in conquering the ego. We also have embrace change and welcome new possibilities, growth is a journey, trust each step, collaboration achieves greater goals. We have the Swan, number 34, so you or your person could be life paths 3 or 4. Also, we have 2 and 6 coming out. Possibly the 26th of a month could be significant, or February 6th, March 4th, something along those lines. Find your inner beauty and express it with the Swan. We also have Griffin, balance, strength, and wisdom, fight with honor. The Nectar, the Unseen, the Crone, and the Desert. So there's a lot of information coming through about fighting something, and it's for a good cause. So it could be that right now your person sees that you're going through a really important time of growth or self-development, or quite possibly you have been an ally to them on their own growth journey. Because we have a lot coming through about like conquering things. The word conquering keeps coming through. Over here we have fight with honor. And then over here, we literally have the Warrior coming through as well as the Liberator. And I'm seeing a lot of synchronizing energies coming through from those two cards. Not to mention, we have strong notes of change, working together, as well as growth. So since this is a perspective reading and this is how your person is viewing you at this time, I would say more than likely it is probably you that's going through the big changes, although it could be mirrored. So if you've observed your person going through big like boons of growth and change at this time, it could be that you are mirroring each other as well. Maybe you've recently accomplished a goal you were really fighting towards. This could be in your career or with personal growth and development, maybe a few different things. I would say right now your person is probably very proud of you. They feel like you're accomplishing a lot and they really want to be by your side working as a team. Another thing I want to note is that we do have a swan coming out here, and those typically do represent higher level soul connections. So it could be that you and your person do have a higher level soul connection, or that's something that they've been thinking about. Other symbols I'm noticing here, we have a blackbird coming out, we have a butterfly. Pearls could be important, specifically black pearls, white flowers, and your person could have greenish colored eyes, because I'm seeing that on this card here, greenish bluish it looks like. Okay, so I am excited to jump into the tarot. I do want to talk more about that. There's one final note though with the oracle cards that I want to get out, because between the unseen and the desert, we have a synchronizing energy of clairvoyance. So it could also be that your person has been dreaming about you a lot lately, or having some sort of divine visions or insight regarding you and your connection. For example, if you are in separation from this person right now and this is a no contact situation for you, they may be able to pick up on your energies through clairvoyance, through dreams, or some sort of visions about you. Could also be that maybe they're observing you through social media, or if you work with this person and they are able to like keep tabs on you in some way, they're keeping a close eye on you, and that could be why they're observing all of this growth. But of course, if you're in contact with this person, that is a-okay. You are still here for a reason. I did have to throw that out there though, because they're able to observe you in some way. And if they can't do that one-on-one in person, it's likely through some sort of dream communication, visions, or through something like social media. So let's hop into the tarot. Okay. Wow, that came out very quickly. So the first card up is the Hierophant. That is Taurus energy, where your person could be Taurus, sun, moon, or rising. I'm also filming this, I believe we entered into Taurus season not too long ago. So it could also be that maybe this reading is finding you shortly after it was released, or Taurus season is important from your person's perspective. I also want to note that this is a timeless reading. All of my readings are timeless unless otherwise noted. So whether or not this reading found you on the day of its release or months from its release, that is a-okay. And then hold on one second. I have to cover up this card a little bit. It should be fine, but just in case, I don't want YouTube to kick my video off. So, okay. We also have the Hermit and we have the Empress. So the Empress is also Taurus energy. The Hermit is Virgo. Both are earth signs. So earth energy in general could be really important. If you and your person aren't earth, sun, moon, or rising, it could also be that earth energy is just really important to them right now. They're focused on stability. When they're thinking about you, they're also thinking about your stability. Maybe you've switched jobs recently, or maybe one of the changes you've gone through that they've been observing involves your career or financial state. Could also involve housing or something of that nature. Okay. I do want to get a clarifier for the Seven of Swords, because that seems kind of misplaced. So we'll pull that up there. And then this is the Ten of Pentacles, by the way, even more earth energy coming through. Okay. Okay, let me figure out how to lay this all out, because we had a couple extra cards come out than I had originally planned. Ooh. Okay. It's gonna look a little bit messy, but I have to find a way to lay these all out. So please bear with me, you guys. Okay. So we also have the Eight of Wands, which is coming out to clarify the Seven of Swords. And to be honest with you, I'm seeing connections between this section and this section down here as well. We have the Ace of Swords, the Knight of Swords, and the Nine of Pentacles. So your person has been thinking a lot when it comes to you and your connection. And I would say these are honestly pretty serious thoughts that they've been having. I think it's beautiful that the Hierophant came out as the first card here, because that talks about learning, growth, and change. I often take it as some sort of a mentor card. So it could be that your person is learning a lot of lessons from you right now, and they're applying that information and how to change in their own life as well. Could also be that they've watched you learn a really important lesson in your own life recently, and that's part of the change that you're undergoing. And if you look closely at the image on this card, you see that this person is like really excited and happy. So I think that this was a big time goal you've had or your person has had. And there's like celebration in store from their perspective. Maybe you have taken some time apart with this Hermit card here. If that's not the case and you've still remained in contact with this person through and through, I would say that this involves a lot of introspection. So a lot of these changes that your person is observing in you and possibly in themselves at this time would have taken time to develop and to actually solidify. I would say probably you have gone through a lot of deep introspection. Maybe you did take some time alone to really think things through, meditate on something before reaching this goal that you have recently reached or getting close to kind of climbing the ladder to achieve. There's a lot of different thought patterns, so bear with me because it's kind of all over the place. I would say that your person isn't one-track minded when they think about you and this connection. When they're observing you, they kind of go all over the place. So that is one of the things that they sort of gravitate towards, is this change, the lessons that are being learned. Another one is also like material world stability, as I was noting. We are getting something coming through about long-term stability. The Ten of Pentacles is traditionally a card of longevity, not just in a romantic sense, but also practically as well. It talks about like financial and material plane stability that can be passed down even to future generations. And since it's coming out right after the Empress, it could be that your person has also been thinking about having kids with you, or if you already have kids, how to grow something for the future that's going to be beneficial for generations to come. If that's not something you and your person are interested in, it could also just be creating something in general, like giving life to something that will leave a legacy that you can pass down from this generation into future generations in one way, shape, or form. But I can't ignore the synchronicity here between these two cards. It could also be that your person is thinking about having kids. So, now, another thing that is coming through is some sort of confession or some sort of secret coming to light. With the Seven of Swords, unfortunately, it does have a bad reputation of being a bit manipulative. It can sometimes talk about lies or deceiving. So it could be that that is coming from their side and it's on their mind, or maybe a secret of yours recently has come to light. But I do think that this is something that either has already been talked about or will be in the near future, because the Eight of Wands is a card of communication as well as forward movement, and same can be said with both the Ace of Swords and the Knight of Swords. So if you haven't already had a conversation about this, I would say that's something your person is thinking about and feeling like needs to happen in the near future. I'm not getting any details about what this is exactly. And in fact, when we're done with this spread, I think I'm going to pull a few cards just to see if I can get any more information out. For some of you watching, I feel like you already know and you've already begun to have these conversations. For others of you, this might be something your person is thinking about needing to happen in order to progress the connection. So let's pull a few cards on that just to see if I can get any more information. Sometimes I'm blocked from receiving it if it's not meant to be yet, like if it's something that's supposed to be between you and your person. I don't always get information out about that, but sometimes I do. So let's check it out. And I don't feel like doing an extended here today. I'm running short on time. Normally I would save it for the extended, but today I do not have the time. So we're just going to pull a few cards and see what needs to come out for you. And as I am shuffling, I will chat with you. This is your friendly reminder to like the video if you haven't already. It's a good way to support my work and my channel. And consider subscribing to the channel if you're new and you enjoy my reading styles. We'd love to have you join us in the Awakened Soul community. Okay, so the first card up is, and actually hold on a second, I want to pull this card out just as a reminder of what we're pulling on here. First card up is the King of Swords. That's Aquarius energy, by the way. And I did forget to mention with the Knight of Swords, that's Gemini energy coming through. We have the Hermit again, Virgo. And then we have the Seven of Swords. That's interesting. So typically this happens when I'm not meant to reveal everything to you, and I know sometimes that can be a little bit redundant or annoying. The whole reason you're here for a reading is to get insight and information. It could just be that it's not time to talk about it yet, or you're not meant to hear this information from me. This is meant to come from your person, or you're meant to bring it to your person. So I hope that makes sense. Sometimes we're blocked from knowing certain things in our path because it's just not our time yet, or it would take us off our course to get to a very specific, like, fated event in our path, basically. We also have the Three of Swords and the Page of Swords. Lots of swords and air energy coming through here. So I do think that there is communication about whatever this is coming through in the future if you haven't already gotten to that point yet. There is going to be an honest communication coming from your person, and I think this is going to be mutual. Both of you are going to be talking back and forth. I'm not necessarily seeing it as like a one-sided confession. There's a conversation that's coming in. With the Page of Swords, we do have the energy of almost like urgency. So this might come in an unexpected way, or kind of like out of nowhere, out of the blue. You don't see it coming. Like it might also feel very rushed, like it's important. This needs to happen by a specific time or before something else can happen in the connection. So there could be some sort of urgency that comes through. Okay. Now, I don't think it's necessarily going to be the happiest of conversations. With the Three of Swords, we do have energies of grief, of loss, of sadness, of heartache. So it could be that this is going to be the energy during that conversation, or like, for example, if you're in separation with this person, it could be getting some closure after this heartbreak type of energy has already happened. So, and I'm not getting any specific details. I do think if you're in separation, it could be that this person is coming back in for closure or to kind of rehash things and to get rid of this energy. If you're still in communication with this person, it could just be a very heavy conversation that the two of you need to have to kind of like clear things out, maybe after going within and figuring things out for a while, just to get rid of anything or prevent further upset from happening in the connection. Okay, so let's get out some channeled messages now before I get to the tiles and the charms. Give me a moment here. Okay. So first up, we have destiny. I'm struggling to find the right path. We also have habits. I don't know if we will ever change. So I want to talk about that a little bit before I pull more cards for you. It's clear that when your person is thinking about you and observing you, they see that you are going through a lot of change, or you've recently accomplished a big goal that you had surrounding change and self-development. It could be that your person is looking towards you for some sort of guidance because they're still struggling to find their right path or to break negative habits in their own life. So I would say, honestly, it's probably like a 50-50 split. Half of you out there, your person is mirroring you and they're going through these changes at the same time. For others of you out there, this person is kind of watching you from the outside in, going through your changes, glowing up, going through your growth, and they feel kind of like they are 2 steps behind in a lot of ways. We also have regret. I wish this never happened, as well as overwhelmed. The stress from this is draining me. And conversation. I want to call you and hear your voice. So this is further noting that your person knows that you need to talk. There's an important conversation the two of you need to have with each other. And I think this is coming in pretty soon for most of you watching. Again, it might be unexpected, especially if you are in separation with this person and you haven't spoken in a while. It might take you by surprise. And that's where this Page of Swords energy is coming from. It's unexpected, it's urgent. Or again, if you are in communication with this person right now, it's still going to take you by surprise, whatever this conversation is. Your person is kind of stressed out right now. They feel a bit overwhelmed. There might be some actions that they've had in the past that they're regretting, that they need to talk to you about as well. We also have someone else has been interfering, so there could be a third party in this connection. Specifically a person. Sometimes third parties they're not always people, but given that we have someone else has been interfering, I would say that a third party is involved here. It's probably a person, could be an ex, it could be a romantic third party, friend, family member, someone of that nature. And I do feel like you would know about this third party. It's not something that, it's not like a part of the secret here. I feel like my gut is telling me you would already know about who the third party is and what's been going on there. We also have, I miss you, everything reminds me of you, you're my angel, and I want to find an easier connection. So again, your person's very overwhelmed right now. They're stressed out. They still feel pulled to come in and communicate with you, although I think sometimes they wish that things were easier in this connection. At the end of the day, they do want to be near you. They do want to spend time with you. They want you to know that. They're just really overwhelmed in their personal life right now. And I don't think they're blaming you for any of that. It just happens to be what they're currently going through and struggling with right now. Okay, so let's get out some tiles and charms before I start getting ready to close out your reading here today. This could, oh yeah, and by the way, this gets a little noisy, so if you have your headphones on or the volume all the way up, you might want to mute it just until I get everything on the table. What I was going to say is this could spell out their name, initials, your initials, important words or symbols for the connection. Okay, L and E came out separately from the bowl, so those could be significant to someone out there. We also have F, L, U, D, L again, so L's are repeating. That could be significant here. I'm also seeing the word fell, okay, or del. And that's all I'm seeing. You're welcome to pause the video if you need more time to see what words or names come up for you. And then as for charms, we have a wreath coming out. So it could be that like the holiday season is really important here in this connection. We have a smiley face. And I think honestly, that's where both you and your person want to be. You want to bring more joy and happiness and peace back into the connection. I think that that is mirrored and that's mutual. And then we have the grapes coming out here. And for some reason, I always associate that with the Nine of Pentacles, which we did have come out earlier in the reading. And again, this is talking about material security, right? Housing security, financial security, even just like lack of anxiety in a connection, feeling stable, feeling grounded, and having a sense of permanency or planting roots down in this connection, I think is something both you and your person are concerned with at this time. So let me get out a couple of personal messages for you now, and then we're going to get ready to close out the reading. I want to thank you so much again for joining, by the way. If you have made it this far into the reading, I would love it if you would let me know by dropping the grapes emoji down below in the comments. Now, these next two messages are intended to be just for you. As I mentioned, they don't have to have anything to do with this connection. My goal is to help you bring that focus back towards yourself again to do a good reset. So, your first personal message is the Raven with confidence. You are encouraged to disconnect from the material or physical plane and move to the spiritual realm. You have a deep spiritual connection which you mustn't ignore. You are on the brink of transformation and your divine purpose may be revealing itself. And then lastly, your affirmation of the day, I invite you to affirm with me in any way that you see fit. You can read it aloud with me, type it below in the comments, or write it down, whatever you'd like to do. It is, today I am glowing. Today I have huge amounts of energy and focus to take on any challenge. Lovely. I am going to pack up and leave your reading here. I want to thank you so very much again for joining. I hope you have a blessed rest of your day or night. And until next time, bye for now.